my goodness. The vibe is lit.
It's very lit.
Maple is his own one-man party right here in studio. It's 6 p.m. Welcome to our Trading SA date. I am Refilwe, and on my right is the lady in emerald green, Kapalma.
Hi.
Looking imperial, darling.
I try. I even have fancy earring today.
I love it.
Very.
We must keep this color. This one stays. Maple, you know, he's over here too. One-man party.
You look like ramen raisins. You look like poison ivy.
And on that
think that's a
fabulous
compliment.
I don't know what to feel about it, and I'm not interested. But let's do this, right? Our first guest this evening is the founder of Wealthy Money, and she is also a personal finance coach and online course creator. And she teaches women just how to unlock their inner money guru and how to fall in love with their bank accounts and live their best lives. Now that's something to aspire to. Her name is Vangile Makwakwa, and she joins us now all the way from Sri Lanka. Welcome to Trending SA, Vangile.
Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure.
Vangile, let's get to it. So I've heard of financial advisors, I've heard of life coaches, I've heard of money coaches. Today I am meeting one. I always thought they were a myth, you know, like a unicorn or, you know, the Loch Ness monster. What exactly is a money coach and what do you do?
Okay, so what I do, I can't speak for other money coaches because my work is very specific. I work with ancestral money trauma. So I help people heal intergenerational trauma, help them get into their bodies, and help them heal trauma which is stored in the nervous system so that they can start making different financial decisions. And once we have healed the emotional aspects of money and the traumatic memories around money, which won't ever be fully healed, right? Because trauma isn't the major events in life. It is just events that were too overwhelming for us to digest as they were happening, or they were happening so fast that we didn't have the resources to be able to integrate them into our nervous systems. So they are now stuck within the nervous system, and we keep going back to the trauma cycle and keep repeating certain events. And they don't always have to link directly to money, but somehow those are the way that we are processing those events that have been unhealed ends up affecting our financial decisions and the way that we approach money.
So is this all entailed and covered in your 2013 book, which is called Heart, Mind, and Money? I mean, I think it's quite a stretch for a lot of people to start to associate money and emotional intelligence, right? What do you cover in the book?
Okay, so my work has progressed, right? So the book started off looking at emotions around money. I look at 22 different emotions, and I look at how these emotions would impact our spending habits, our saving habits, and our investment habits, and our ability to earn money. My work now then took a step further after Heart, Mind, and Money, where I started asking a key question as to why do we even feel the way that we feel about money? Why is it that someone can have an experience? Why is it that my sister and I can both receive 100,000 Rand in our bank accounts, but we will have very different emotional experiences around money? And that's how I came to the trauma work, that we may have experienced the same events, but the way that we integrated those events because of how we process trauma and how it is now stored in the nervous system then impacts how we start to feel around money. And that feeling, so in Heart, Mind, and Money, I deal mainly with just the feeling. That feeling will then impact our behaviors in different ways when it comes to money.
Sure.
You have something called the Bank Account Challenge, which is a 5-day challenge aimed at getting people to fall in love with their bank account. How does that work?
Yeah. So what I started to do was I looked at how do we look at what the research that's already been done around the nervous system and trauma, and how can I use that research and the work that I do, that I've already done around trauma and the exercises I've created, and also understanding how the body reacts when we have to work with money, how our nervous system gets regulated and unregulated depending on what's happening within our bank accounts. So what I did in the 5-day bank account challenge is I basically get people to pull up their bank statements, which is often day one, a horror story. Everybody's freaking out. And then I teach them to work with their breath, and then to sit and start going into their nervous system so that they can start seeing what is actually going on in your nervous system every time you work with money. And one of the key tools for the bank account challenge is the breath, because research, and even Buddhism showed this, let's not even forget research. Buddhism showed this about, 5,000 years ago, that if when you feel a particular emotion, the first thing that will change is your breath. So when you feel angry, your breath will change. When you get scared, your breath will change.
So this is how all your meditation classes fit into the work you do with your clients.
This is how they fit in. So everything directly ties to money and the nervous system. Trauma lives in the nervous system.
Thank you so much, Vangile. I think that there were so many notes there. So many notes.
Too many bars.
And we are going to keep following you for more of this wisdom. Thank you so much for sharing, and all the best for 2021.
Thank you. You too, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vangile.
After the break, we catch up with Skinny Smooth. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. Our next guest, I like saying that because I'm the future Letterman. Our next guest is an innovative businessman. Skinny Smooth is famous for his stylish, authentic luxury sock brand that has taken South Africa by storm. Welcome to Training SA, Smooth.
Mr. Letterman, thank you very much.
No. Don't feed the monster.
Please don't indulge the fantasy. It's so good to see you again.
I'm happy. You guys look amazing. Hey, when I say you guys, I mean this side only. You look amazing.
Compliments of the season.
Thank you so much. I love the pink.
It's fine. They're the ones that need affirmation. I don't. So, Smooth, in 2018, you came out about your business struggles in that very famous interview.
Yeah.
Do you regret telling the world about what was going on in your business, and what was your take out from that whole thing?
I share every one of my successes with the world, you know, every little thing I do, like whether I've just bought a meal, I put it on Twitter and stuff, you know, or such like even big news like the latest sock machine that I bought for a couple of millions, you know, and I feel a personal responsibility as well to come back to millions of young entrepreneurs who look up to me and tell them when I'm struggling so that they can see themselves as well in my story, whether I'm doing good or bad. So I don't regret anything about that.
Yeah. You know, here's a tweet. A lot happened in that year in 2018. And this tweet made a very, very big impression on me.
Yeah.
Where you talked about feeling like giving up. You've given it your all, what you did to try to save the business. And it seems to me that we don't have, or perhaps you can answer this, whether we have the right kinds of conversations about entrepreneurship, right, in South Africa. Things like knowing that your mental health and wellness is also key and can be impacted. But most specifically, what are those skills, those very key skills that you wish you'd actually had from the outset so that you didn't get to that point?
No, listen, I think I was going to get to that point whether I had extra sets of skills, you know, or even whether I went to business school or not.
Sure.
Refilio, I understand my place and space in the African entrepreneurship climate. I am the leader of the new school. Forbes dubbed me as the face of the new age entrepreneur. So I know that whether my story goes left or right, it's an example to the world and what could happen if you take the good decisions or bad decisions, you know?
Okay. Let's pose it this way. For yourself, how did you get to that place where you were fed up and tired? And what I'm fundamentally asking is, what was missing?
What was missing at the time? I think I had come off a 4-year high. Remember when you and I met, I think I was 23 years old.
1992.
Oh my God, I'm only 29.
You were just starting out. You were out the gates.
I was just starting out, but it was immediately after my CNN fame. So I'm one of those guys who was selling his socks in a paper bag, and the following day I was on CNN, and the following day I had multiple investors and I had a business that was put on my lap, you know? So after that 4 years really of being in that high, I really wanted more of that success without working hard for it, because my early success was brought by media. You know, so everything came fast, and I thought that's how business works. And business is a lot of hard work. Business is consistency. You know, so yeah, that was what was happening, and I crashed. But thank you very much to the help of my family. You know, I suggest like 360 help when you're in that situation. People think that the only problem when you're in that situation is business related. The problem in most instances in that situation is the entrepreneur who's the engine of the business. So I got help from my mother. I got help from my mentors, including DJ Busi, and 3 other people who wouldn't want to be mentioned, you know. And I went back to church. I got professional counseling. My girlfriend was by my side, you know. So I did those minor internal work that eventually...
Minor but huge, it sounds
Minor but huge.
Yeah.
Minor but huge, and we don't pay attention to them, but they're very critical because you are the engine at the end of the day of this brand or business.
So the housework, the internal housework was obviously done first, but then how did you rebuild? What did you change in the function of the business, in the structure, in the way the organism works?
Well, first of all, the biggest thing is I had to let go of people within the organization who were really holding us back, you know? So that was the biggest first change that I made. Personally, as an entrepreneur, I went back to my grind, to my 20-hour-a-day grind, the way I started 7 years ago, when I was using UJ computers and stuff. So I went back to those principles and understanding that if you want to remain number one like I am right now, it's consistent hard work, you know. I did minor changes, especially when it comes to my finances, because remember, money was just brought to my lap and I had to do whatever with it, you know. But I really, I went through a 2-year period of, I was broke, guys. I remember a time where my sister sent me $200 in my Capitec account. That's how broke I was. I went back home in a taxi, as tall as I am, a whole celebrity entrepreneur. I went back home in a taxi, but that time was humbling. And I think it was a period where God was just reminding me that this thing, he can take it up, but he can take it down again.
Absolutely. And I think that's such an important lesson to learn, that life can humble you at any point, right? And you'll never forget that. In the thick of lockdown, right? Last year, you decide that you are going to launch your most expensive sock yet, 920 Rand a pair. Other
Can
business,
we see it?
Please, can we?
We don't go around with that perspective.
Other businesses are like battening down the hatches, and you know they're getting lean, you know. And you launch your most expensive sock. What inspired that very bold move during a time where everyone else was nervous?
Well, what was happening is that in 2020, beginning of the year, I was really planning to take the year off, you know, so that I can re-strategize and rethink the business and where we're trying to go. So what inspired that move was that I've been with the Foschini group for the past 3 years right now, and I'm in the mess space right now. So we're just producing and producing and producing and producing, you know. So I was at a point where the artist was very, very starving, and I wanted to produce work that's very selfish, work that could only fulfill me as an artist. And during that time, I think I had some heart problems. I remember driving myself to the hospital, and it got sorted, you know. But when I was there, I really started asking myself really critical questions. And one of them was, am I still going to leave this hospital bed and chase money? Or am I going to go out there and live my life and be happy? And I wrote a letter to myself. And at the end, I put a signature. And we took that signature, we put it on a sock. And what makes the sock most valuable is that whole moment and the signature that's on the sock, the quality of the sock. And we decided to release that because we understand that we are a premium brand. You know, what makes a premium brand is, of course, the quality of the product, but also the theatrics around the brand, you know. So when you're buying a whiskey brand, you're not only buying the taste, but you're buying where it was made, the cask it was made in, and the entire story behind it. So we fully understand as a brand what we're doing.
Alma, do you agree?
I think I can taste the difference between an affordable whiskey and an expensive whiskey, but
It's mostly marketing, let's agree.
And isn't that
Let's
the
agree.
connoisseur trap? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Thanks so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Did you bring me socks?
I did bring you socks. Of course.
Of course, my Blair needs a freebie out of this.
Of course, I brought him socks. But also, this is what I forgot to tell you
Any clap
guys.
for it?
I've just collaborated with Maps Maponyane and the Muffins. So we've just did a limited edition range, Maps Maponyane, X Skinny Spool Socks, and the Muffins. So I want people to go to www.skinnyspoolsocks.com and get a pair.
Love the energy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all the freebies. I'll take 4.
Wow! Oh my God!
All right, so we are going to a net break, and when we return, award-winning
Lovely.
author
You're so
Busi
embarrassed.
Selesho is in the building. Don't go anywhere. I'm still getting judged here on Training SA for mixing my whites with my colors when I'm doing my washing, but I've learned. Welcome back from the break. We are still talking about money. We all know that January is the longest month of the year. And by the time we get to the month end, we're barely hanging on financially. And tonight we have money coach, award-winning international bestseller, Busi Selesho. Welcome to Training SA.
Thank you so much for
I
inviting
say that,
me.
Busi?
Perfect.
Busi, let's get right into it. I mean, it's such a problem that Jan is the longest month for too many people. But, you know, we've often heard the saying that money is energy.
Yep.
First of all, what in the world does that mean? But I just want to find out how I can vibrate on that level.
Yeah.
Because, yes, please.
So now that you've just said January is the longest month, January is known to be the longest month. So then what will happen in your life is that January will be the longest month, 5 years of it. So,
Oh my goodness, it sounds like a nightmare.
so the thing is this, everything that we expect happens. So when you expect to feel cold on a rainy day, normally you feel cold. If you expect to be happy because it's December, all of a sudden, 1 December, you like 31 Saturdays.
Sure.
You know? So that is what it means when we say money is energy. It already wants you when you want it. When you say January is a long month, it just does not show up.
So how do we pivot and change that, our attitude and vibration towards money? How do we invite money into our lives? It's not just positive thinking, surely.
no.
It's also then followed up
Yeah,
and backed
yeah.
up by how we behave.
So our habits normally makes us feel a certain way. So if you're waking up in the morning and you're exercising, you already feel like you are an amazing person. Wow, I woke up and I exercised. Look at you, you
How do you
didn't
do that
do
with
that.
money?
So if your habits are sort of in a way that you feel good, what will normally happen is that you start thinking good about you, good about what you do, and then the good things will sort of fall into place.
Okay.
So habits help you to have the thinking, and once the thinking is there, you want to solidify it.
Sure.
You want to say that, oh yeah, I actually did save up this much this month, and that's a good thing. So you want to sort of celebrate what you've done so that it continues in your life.
So in terms of what you could practically do, which habits can you kind of cultivate in order to heal from whatever trauma is affecting how you deal with money, your relationship with money? What can you actually do on a daily basis to try and heal that?
Yeah, so how normally you feel about money. So this is a simple thing. When you hear the word money in just whoever says it, do you normally feel like, oh, damn it, I don't have that thing? Oh, the thing is so hard for me to get. So ask yourself, why do you think it's difficult for you to get? Why do you think it's so far from you? Because normally when you answer those questions truthfully, then you know what's the problem. Because sometimes I'm not good enough. Sometimes I've not studied enough. Then if you've not studied enough, guess what? Go and get one course where you then feel that I've studied. So try to ask the real question of why am I feeling like this about this?
So another thing that I'm quite interested in is the fact that you also deal with the aspect of people that are working a full-time job, for instance, but maybe there's that untapped skill that you can utilize to start your side hustle. What do you tell your clients when it comes to that?
And you know, the phrase side hustle, I think that is probably the worst thing we can do.
Sure.
Because there you are finding that you went and studied accounting and you know numbers and you calculate them well. But you are actually maybe a singer. And there you are saying, I will sing on weekends, but my bills will be paid by the accounting job, because the accounting job probably makes more money. But truly speaking, if you were doing the thing that you are mostly great at, you will earn more money than the accounting job. So then normally we are told that the things that are what we love, our passions, our everything, they are not good enough. So they should be an extra thing, a side hustle.
So practical ways then to turn that side hustle or the passion into the thing that makes you money but also keeps you inspired. What are the practical ways? Because the truth is we are living in an environment where economically the outlook is not exciting, right? The jobs numbers are really, really scary. So you can understand a nation that doesn't want to let go of a sure thing. You know?
And you know,
what are the practical steps?
One thing that we should then do when you find out that you have a skill, that you have a purpose in life that looks like that, start to, of course, do something small with it, but never look at it as it's just a side thing. Look at it as, I'm starting it now, and I want in 2 years for it to be fully what I do.
Go.
So do not think of it small. Think of it big, but start small.
Got it. Got it.
So yeah.
Busi, thank you so much for coming through. Definitely Refilwe and Elma needed this. Their financial lives are in tatters. They're constantly borrowing money from me. I have to say, no, it's straining our relationships. Well, South Africa, that's all that we have for you tonight. Ningakhali. So nibona futhi next time. Good night.